Right, peeps, well, we've got a lot to cover today. Not much memory on my phone, so let's crack on. Right, I've been really busy this week. This puppy is now finished and running. The body is all done. I think I showed you that in the last video anyway, but any little touches that I've added, there you go. Number plates and malarkey on. All the decals back on, that's looking cool. I had to, in the end, nick the motor from this. This is an RC that's fast as hell, but I never use it because it's too fast for me. I'm old now, my neck don't work right, and old cars, fast cars like this, do my head in. What I'll be doing with this, I don't know. But there you go, it's a good chassis. I may make it brushed so that it works, but not very fast. I may use the motor that I took out of that. So what I've done with this one, I swapped the gearboxes. That single motor gearbox, which is a brushless gearbox, was in this. This is as it came originally from an eRevo with the EVX2. So this is not LiPo compatible, but I've ordered some of those little buzzers that you put on LiPos. So although LiPos don't tend to fit in here, so there we go. And this is a bit of a parts build, actually. It's sort of the leftovers from everything else. I bought this gearbox a long time ago, but I don't think it, I think I was hard. It doesn't seem to work. It keeps locking in the middle, so I need to open it up and see if the gears are alright. It's a 2-speed with no reverse, so I don't even know if it's any good anyway for this. Yeah, while I was messing about with all the stuff, I found I had 2 of the longer arms. Now I shortened these arms to make like a road chassis for the yellow pickup truck. I did order some more that were supposed to come today, so this should be finished. It isn't. All that really needs to test it now is drive shafts and motor mount and electronics and a steering servo, which I don't have. So yeah, that's the big guys. I'll put these all back together and we'll move on to the next group. Right, so this is the next lot. These were just housekeeping, really. I have that 1/8 Land Rover, which anybody watching my channel will have seen, that I took the original axles off that. Well, they ended up on this, and when I built this one, which is a Ken Block tribute truck, the Raptor tracks, I think he called it, because it had tracks on. Well, later or earlier or later, I had it on wheels before after the tracks. I can't remember which, but the paint job and the truck were the same. So I had this on my Emax. I'd shortened it to a 2-door, made it back to the 4-door like it was originally. Although it's still, there's a little bit missing. The back door is a little shorter than it was originally. This is a new bright truck. Painted the interior. I need to put some lights in it, which I haven't got around to yet. So what was I doing with it this week? Well, let me just move this one out of the way. Right, so I had the Double Eagle Land Rover axles on it, and then, because it's exactly the same track width as the Land Rover, so they just fit straight on it, then I chose to take those off and use the Gen Everest, Red Cat Everest axles on it, because I wasn't really using them for anything, and they were all upgraded with the lockers and spools. They're all sort of upgraded because also HSP make one of these. So I had to redo all the links. Yeah, and so that was time consuming. That took a few days, did that, to get all these cut and done. I need to sand them down and paint them at some point. So although I ran out of threaded rod, so I didn't quite get to cover these two. Yeah, so I need to redo them two, because they're also Red Cat Everest links, or Maverick Scout, that's the other one. So yeah, so that was what I was doing with that one. Now, reason why I showed you the black one is because I used the links for the Land Rover to extend the chassis on this, which is basically oh, hang on a minute. Sorry, I just noticed one more job I need to do. Look where I've left the steering on this. I can't remember. I can't believe I've left it like that. But anyway, I'll change that. Yeah, what I do, seeing as I use the links from the Land Rover to extend the links on this, because they're the original. This is an SCX-10-2 clone. Now they're the original links, and these are the ones I needed to do. I need to redo the drive shaft because it is barely in. It only just comes to there. So I just know that will come straight out under load adjust. But I've not done anything with that, but like I say, that's time consuming. So there we go, that's that puppy. Just bear with me once more. Now, this little puppy has been my pride and joy. I started it, and you know when you start a build and you're cracking on and you hit a brick wall and you lose interest and you put it to one side, as you can tell by the camera doesn't really do all the dust justice. This thing is filthy, needs a clean. Anyway, so what have I been doing with this? Well, anybody who's been on my channel for a while will know I made this four-wheel drive. Now, Tamiya never made a four-wheel drive with the original ORV, which was off-road vehicle. Used it on the Subaru Brat, I can't remember what cars he used it anyway. Used it on the Subaru Brat, the Blackfoot, the Monster Beetle. What's the grey one? Is it the grasshopper? The Frog. Used it on the Frog originally, and a couple of others, various different bodies. But this is probably the most famous version of it, the Blackfoot. But they never ever made it a four-wheel drive. So just to prove the point, there you go. Shaft-driven four-wheel drive. Can you see what I've done? Yes. Now, I started this with this gearbox originally, which is a crappy old one from a two-wheel drive Subaru chassis. It was crap. I had to reinforce it because it kept flexing backwards and forwards and the motors kept coming off. And I shoved this brushless motor on it, which didn't help. Now, I bought this well after I decided to abandon this project. And just the other day, I'm just thinking, ooh, it's one of those low-profile crawler gearboxes. As you can see, it puts the motor right, it's up high, but it's slap bang in the middle. The battery still goes underneath where it's supposed to, so I reckon this will handle pretty well. I'm not leaving it brushless. It's a Trackstar motor, 35, 20 kV. It's absolutely foo-bad as this motor, which I figured it'd be alright for testing. I'm going to put a brushed motor in it. I just haven't decided which one. I think I'm going to put an original Johnson Silver can, like the Blackfoot would have come with originally. I just need to, it's mounted but not really well. I need to properly mount it rigidly. And that's all I really need to do with that now. You can see that it's got metal dog bones. Can you see that? See that there? Yeah, it's got metal dog bones and drive cups front and rear. It's basically a Thunder Tiger Tomahawk. All metal gears in this now. So, although that did have weak points with the grub screws holding the drive cups on, they tended to like undo themselves. So yeah, that will be a running video soon. It's still crappy weather here in the UK, still cold and damp, so I won't be taking any of these out until the weather warms up. But it's an ugly fix, but it's fixed. I just need to get some thicker aluminium, because that's actually the bottom, that should be there on the skid plate there. So I just need to make a proper plate to mount that, and then something on the other side to stop it wobbling. And that is done. What else? Oh, yes. One more. After swapping all these pieces around, I had some bits left over. So I'll show you what I did with those. Whew, right, back. So basically, after upgrading and modding everything, you end up with bits left over. Now, these are all the poor quality parts, so it's not going to really be a good chassis, but these are the axles and the links from the Double Eagle Discovery, this Land Rover Defender. That's an old SCX-10 skid plate, an original SCX-10, which you see I've cut in half to move the mounting points around previously. This is an intact, this is a brand new chassis rail with extension kit. It's meant to be for a 6x6. which I never used, so it's just left over. So these are the shockers from the SCX-10-2 clone. So as you can see, it's quite a long wheelbase. I think it's just short of 15 inches from there to there. I don't know what that is in mils, but as you can see, the problem is I have no bodies to fit it. This is the body from the CC01 that is under the Ranger shell. Brand new body. I literally never used it, so I may find a use for that at some point. Just again, bear with me one more time. This is an old HPI Savage Dodge Ram shell that I used on a Rustler. I used on the Thunder Tiger Tomahawk, which is under there. I'll show you that in a moment. I've used it on an Emax. It fits the little Emax that I just showed you, the green one, because it's roughly the original Savage and the original Emax are about the same size. Just gradually, as with every update and revision, they got bigger and bigger, like real cars really. So yeah, I was sort of hoping it'd be somewhere near, but it is literally nowhere near. So that's that. Right, so I'll get rid of these two and I'll show you what's under there. Right, well, this is a project I was hoping to get onto and never got around to because I fixed everything else, but this is not the shell for this. I have a brand new Desert Rat Proline shell. I bought it at the same time as the GMC Top Kick shell, which you just saw on the Project Ironhide that was on the table a minute ago. Yes, this is basically a Thunder Tiger Tomahawk buggy. Now, oh, one more car to show you. One more car, which I've forgotten about. Aha. Right, now, I had 3 of these. 3 seems to be a magic number for me. 3 Blackfoots, 3 Emaxes. I had 3 Blackfoots. I have 3 Emaxes. I have 3 of these. One of them has sacrificed itself for the Blackfoot. The other one is underneath the Polo. Upgraded to... Thunder Tiger is now owned by Team Associated, or Team Associated owns Thunder Tiger. I'm not quite sure which it is, but one company owns the other, so they share platforms. So the Pro SC, the Pro Rally, and the Pro... There's another one. They all use the old Thunder Tiger chassis, which is this one, the Thunder Tiger, Tomahawk and Sparrowhawk. The Sparrowhawk tended to be an on-road or a buggy. Right, now this is an old Nitro. These are the diffs that are inside that. They're just inside the old housing and in between and in there at the front, obviously. It's one of these drive shafts that's now joining the front to the middle. So I have varying chassis, but as you can see, this is a previous attempt at because this is so modular. As long as this part and this part match the front and rear ends, you can make the middle as long or as short as you like. I've had this under the Big Excursion. I've had it under the F350. I've had it under a converted one to the Pro Rally. Yeah, it's a very flexible chassis because if you know how to make a new chassis plate that's even halfway stiff, that's half the battle. You literally just need to buy longer drive shafts, which are available because there's now like 1/8 and 1/6 buggies that run dog bones. So it's an easy fix. You just need to mount a motor and you can buy motor plates. I've got one in a box behind me on the top shelf. And yeah, it's done. Now this is missing some parts, which I have some of in a little box somewhere. So once I painted this shell, I just need to make a new chassis plate, get a longer drive shaft for the back, mount a motor, and it's working. The motor that's in that will probably be going in this. That's probably the deal, I think. Now this is one of the projects I was talking about in the last video. I spent £95 on the shell for what I'm now calling Big Red. The Big Emax. This is going to need about 20 quid in paint. Don't got that now. I was going to buy some new electronics for it. Well, that's out the window. I'm going to use the electronics for that. That brushless motor will be good enough for this. The only problem with it is the wheels are going to catch and rub everywhere. So Not sure what to do about that. I'm going to paint the shell up and take it from there. I have a plan. If you see this sticker here, that was on the dash, that was on the hood of my previous short course truck. I got rid of it because it was two-wheel drive, but I liked the styling. I just didn't like the way it handled, and I then couldn't afford the Slash 4x4, so this idea formed, which is why I bought this shell to use on this chassis. So this is I like the Big Red. This is a return to a previous project that I've abandoned and I've now come back to. So yeah, this will be yellow. This will be yellow, as will the roof and down the flanks, and the rest will be either black and or red. It looked absolutely beautiful. I always loved that paint job, and I sold the truck. I sold the Slash in one, and it went through the group I used to be a part of, and I ended up getting it back, but the person who bought it had cut all the front end off. It was a Slayer shell, and this is like 1mm. That was a 2mm Lexan body. It was indestructible. I smashed it out of that thing and it never broke. So there you go. Right, just let me get the last one out. Right, so I'm running out of time. This is the last one now. I've just put these wheels on this. It had those wheels on it, but never really suited it. Then I put some white 2.2 wheels on it. The 2.5 from the Kyosho XR something. That was a 1/8, but they were slightly bigger than the HPI WR8. So I bought some WR8 wheels for it, but they look like little pram wheels. So I had these given from like Jonathan Powell. I don't know if any of you know his channel. What did it used to be called? He changed the name of his channel recently. And I don't know what it was called before. But anyway, yeah, he builds like Mercedes Sprinters out of WPLs. You've ever seen him. Anyway, he very graciously gave me these. So, Jonathan, if you're watching, I finally got to use them, mate. Yeah, so this is basically, as you can see, the plastic chassis version of that. When Team Associated brought out the Pro Rally, they just repurposed the Tomahawk, the Sparrowhawk, which is the electric version of the Tomahawk. As you can see, the front and rear ends are identical. It does need, these are, in fact, the original Team Associated shocks. They feel quite stiff, but it needs a sway bars. Another one of those upgrades that I spent the money on that big shell. Yeah, as you can see, it's VXL powered. It's pretty nippy, but for some reason, this receiver doesn't want to mate up with the FlySky remote, and it won't go in reverse. I've tried everything possible, calibrating it and everything, it just don't work. So the common problem with all these cars now is I'm running short on receivers. I have two Dumbo RC controllers, a Ghoul RC controller. I bought this one last year, which I can only connect to one car, but I need some more receivers, and they're like £12–13 each. So that was another one of those upgrades I spent my money on. Body. Yeah, so I wonder, I haven't tried that on there. Well, it'd have to sit lower, but I think it might work if I could get the body post line up. Yeah, so there we go, peeps. That's what I've been doing up to press. Just one more thing to show you before I go. Just before I go, a friend that I used to work with has just bought one of the Charisma Audi rally cars, and he knows of a track in the next town over from where I live, so I'm hoping to meet him at the track at some point. So this puppy may be getting on the track soon. Well, it won't because it doesn't work. But do you really need reverse on a track? Yeah. Anyway, so that might be coming out to play soon, so I'll make sure I get some video of that. Anyway, yeah, just wanted to show you this one last thing. You know when you have them really stupid ideas? Now, I've always wanted to do one of those, like Dakar Rally race trucks. I've had this lying around in the shed for years. Obviously the chassis is too long and too wide, but my wife walked past the table the other day and she said, "What the hell is that?" Please tell me you haven't built that. I'm like, no, you haven't bought that. I'm like, no, it's just a silly idea. She's like, she just walked off. Made me laugh. No, but the thing is, I paid £101 for the RC car that is under that black GMC shell. If I could get another one of those, it would fit perfectly under there. Anyway, so that's me done for now. 20 minutes. I don't even know if YouTube will let me post it this long. So thanks for watching, peeps. More soon. Hopefully, if the weather picks up, we'll get some running videos. But I've still got some more work to do. I mean, I've still got this puppy to finish. And there's some upstairs that I haven't even started yet. Anyways, thanks for watching, peeps. More soon. Goodbye.